Alright, last time we had talked about this guy, we made the video going over Tanjiro from Demon Slayer and how Yuri Slafkovsky might have had these breathing techniques that increased his lung capacity by 20% or whatever the heck it was. I don't know, it was some crazy science stuff that we talked about. It's in the video if you want to watch that. But that video was treated to some pretty good responses. We got some threads on Twitter, we got a bunch of people replying to this idea that Yuri Slafkovsky may or may not be quote-unquote 20% better because of these water-breathing form techniques, or fire-breathing form, love-breathing form, sun-breathing form, whatever it is. And now we have ourselves another article, this time actually taking the words from the man himself. Let's head over onto, what is this website? Sportnet, not Sportsnet like Canada, Toronto Sportsnet, but sportnet.sme.sk. Because what they did was they published an interview done with Yuri Slafkovsky. It's available here on the website. It's going to be linked in the description, but the article is not in English. It is apparent that this is in Slovak, so what I wanted to do instead was head over onto a Reddit post on the Habs sub. Take a look at this post, and big shout out over to 420 Scope It, because what they did was they translated the Slovak article from Slafkovsky's press conference earlier in the week. It's pretty cut and paste, it's pretty simple. We're just going to read the questions, and we're going to read Slafkovsky's answers, go over my opinions, just kind of share some thoughts about what it is the Montreal Canadiens' first overall pick is up to. Take a look at the first question that they ask him. Since your knee injury in January, you took a long break from hockey. How are you health-wise? Before I left Montreal, I skated, Slafkovsky said. My knee was already feeling good and it was getting better. Now it's at 100%. I think I've got enough of a record from the previous years as well. I didn't go on the ice every day over the summer, but as the start of the new season approaches, I'll gradually add some on-ice training. I'm hoping that when training camp starts, it won't show that I've missed 8 or 9 months. I haven't had such a long break from hockey in my career. I missed it. What helped you during this difficult period, they ask. It helped that about 10 of us got hurt at the same time. Slafkovsky jokes around saying that, oh man, yeah, that feels bad. He says he wasn't alone. I communicated a lot with my family and my friends, and time flew by. When I came here to Slovakia, I could train again. I expected a better season for myself, but I'm only looking forward. That is so funny. Like, oh, what helped you during this difficult time of getting hurt? Yeah, it helped that so many other Canadians were also injured at the same time. Like, I know we've all had our suspicions about the Canadians and their health staff, their, what the heck do you call it, the training staff, the guys that are in charge of recovery, the team doctors, etc., because so many of these Habs got injured for such prolonged amounts of time that the overlap of guys taking up one section in the Bell Center of injured players, like, it was incredible. They had the visuals throughout the games towards the end of the year. Oh, here's the camera of the guys that are injured on the Habs that aren't playing, and these players took up like an entire row. It was crazy. So Slafkovsky saying that he had other teammates to comfort him in the time of injury, yeah, I totally believe it. What did you enjoy the most at home this summer, they ask. He says food, family, and friends. He enjoys being in Slovakia, and he was especially looking forward to the pierogi, Slovak food. He also says he managed to go on a holiday. He went over to Spain for 10 days, so that's really cool. But this is the part of the article where they start to go over his actual preparations and his training. What did you focus the most on in your prep so far? Slafkovsky says he's focused on all the details in his body to be well prepared. His coach dictated things to make him be better, and he trusts the coach. Are you stronger than last year, they ask. Last year, I did 3 pull-ups. Now, I'll do 6. I should be stronger. I can see it on my body. The tests also show that I've lost weight somewhere and gained weight somewhere. I feel better. I've been working on the little things. I wouldn't have done a mountain stage in the Tour de France, but I would have done a flat stage. So it is interesting to note how Slafkovsky has lost a little bit of weight and gained some weight, because it was a big note last year heading into the season that Slafkovsky was, I think he was one of the heaviest players in the entire NHL at that point, like 238 pounds. Of course, he's a big dude. We know that he's got a chonky build. But it's interesting to note now that he's getting a little bit more lean, he's seeing more strength in his body, and that he's losing and gaining weight in different parts. So we'll see how exactly that translates onto the ice, whether or not he looks faster, he looks slimmer, he looks bigger, whatever. But when it comes to that lung capacity thing, the Demon Slayer stuff, you've had training to increase your lung capacity, they ask. What did it consist of? Slafkovsky says, I went for a test with a bicycle and it came out that I have a worsened lung capacity. They explained to me that if I wanted to improve the first 3 steps on the ice, I needed to have more volume in my breathing. I worked with a machine called the Spiro Tiger. It's a balloon with a little screen that I breathe into for a minute before training. There are different intervals and I gradually speed up or slow down. By some miracle, I've managed to increase my lung capacity by 15 to 20% in a month and a half. The trainer didn't understand that. I continued doing it. So there you go. Slafkovsky goes out there and confirms the capacity in his breathing and how this is going to affect his game. He wants to improve his first 3 steps on the ice. They ask, hey, does this training make you feel better? And he says, it's hard to tell in the middle of summer prep. I think I'll use it during the substitutions in game. Only then will I know if this training has actually helped me or not. They also talk about the special glasses, and yeah, they say that he's been training with them. He couldn't see the puck very well. Remember we talked about the Terminator thing, how Slafkovsky was training with these glasses that would blink and flash and do some crazy things that limit his on-ice vision, thus improving his decision-making and his on-ice reaction to things? Well, this is where they actually get into interesting thoughts. Could this training help you with the hits to the head that you took last season? Everything flashed through the goggles, Slafkovsky said. I don't know if it would help. I like to keep my head up when I play. No glasses are going to help me in that respect. And that was one of the things we had talked about too, how hopefully these glasses and this training is going to help him avoid hits to the head and get caught with his head down because he had his head down a lot. What is your next program, they ask. On Tuesday, he'll fly back to Montreal where he's going to train. He doesn't know if he's going to get some time off. He'll find out on the spot, and he'll try to fight for a spot in the lineup. They also ask if he's been in contact with the Canadiens management, and he says yes, especially with the skills coach who was in charge of me and the conditioning coach. GM Kent Hughes texted me after graduation when he saw the pictures, and he got back to me once in a while. The last I got a message from him, he told me to come to Montreal on August 1st. There are a few more personal things talked about in this post, his schooling, his ability to speak French, but what I wanted to focus on more so to end off this video is just kind of the fans and what the fans are expecting out of him. In your rookie season, the Canadiens fans were lenient on you. In your second, there will be more pressure. Are you ready for that? Slafkovsky says, I'm sure they'll expect more from me. I'm already counting on that. But I believe I'm very well prepared and I can play hockey. When the team didn't do well, the fans took it harder. On the other hand, it's nice when things are going well and everybody's cheering for us. I believe it'll only go up, and there will be less criticism. They ask him about goals. What kind of goals would you like to achieve? And he says, yeah, I have goals, but I'd like to keep them to myself. I'll work on them in the meantime. That's great, honestly. Like, that type of answer, it's really mature for a guy who's only 18, 19 years old. He talks about Philip Mesar as well, that I'd be happy if Philip Mesar made the team. He had a very good camp last year and was there for quite a long time. If he works on himself a little bit now, he has a chance to play. There also was a conversation talking about Slovak hockey players, but I'll leave you to that if you want to read it yourself. Link is going to be in the description to the original article as well as the Reddit post. But it's really interesting to learn about Slafkovsky's perspective about this entire thing, because I think, in particular, the breathing techniques we all learned about, it was a pretty big deal over here. So, having Slafkovsky give his verification saying, yeah, like, I'm actually doing this, I'm growing, I have better breathing, I'm getting a little bit more strong, like, it's good to see that he's giving the verifications himself, that he is improving his physique, that he is hopefully bringing a better, more well-oiled machine into the Canadiens locker room next year. Whether or not that translates to more points, or a faster stride, or better on-ice decision-making with the glasses, who really knows if that's going to affect everything in the ways that we hope, but we just gotta wait and see. But for now, I'd rather see Slafkovsky go out there with a very positive update like this than say that things aren't really working all too well or whatever. It's good to hear from the first overall pick what's going on. You know, communication's important. So seeing this be published in the Slovak newspaper or whatever it is, the website, good on them for having the interview, good on Slafkovsky for being open about it, and good on this Reddit poster for going out there and translating the whole thing into English. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Juraj Slafkovsky and this little update. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.